Today our topic is operations with polynomials. Our learning target is how can I add, subtract, and multiply polynomials. Vocabulary for us, we got monomial is one term because mono means one. So we have one term. Binomial, bi means two, so we have two terms. So two things that are added together. So a term of a polynomial are things that are added or subtracted. Trinomial, tri means three, so we have three terms, so three things being added or subtracted. And then a four-term polynomial would just be four terms, or we would just call it a polynomial. So the degree of a polynomial is the highest power to which the variable is raised to in a polynomial. So if we look at our trinomial, we have two variables. We have x right here next to 3, and we have 4x to the 5th power. So the degree of this polynomial would be 5 because it's the highest power that the variable is being raised to. Here we look, the degree would be 3 because it's the highest power to which the variable is being raised. Hopefully you know the difference now. So let's talk operations, adding and subtracting polynomials. With adding, we just have to combine our like terms. So this is really just CLT. So like terms are terms with the same variable and it has to have the same power. So that same exponent. So x and x to the 2nd power are not like terms because they do not have the same power. They're both x's, but they have to have the same power, same exponent to be added or subtracted. So if we look at our two polynomials, I'm going to write out the first one, 2x to the 3rd minus 5x squared plus x. Then in my second polynomial, I am going to line up my like terms. So I'm adding 2x squared, so I'm going to put that underneath the 5x squared, plus x to the 3rd, so I'm going to put that underneath the 2x to the 3rd, and I'm going to add that coefficient of 1, and then minus 1. Now there's no like term in the first equation, so I'm just going to put the minus 1 here at the end so I don't add that to anything that it's not a like term. So now we can add up our like terms. 2x to the 3rd plus 1x to the 3rd is 3x to the 3rd. Negative 5x squared plus 2x squared is negative 3x squared. Positive 1x doesn't have a like term, so it just stays positive 1x, and minus 1 does not have a like term, so it just stays minus 1. So this would be our answer because we cannot simplify it anymore. Subtracting polynomials is similar to adding, but first we have to distribute the negative sign. So that negative, that minus sign is making all of those signs opposite. So we're going to have 4n to the 2nd power plus 5. Then when I distribute this negative sign to all of it, a negative times a negative makes that a positive 2n squared. A negative times a positive makes that a negative 2n. And a negative times a negative makes that a positive 4. And now I can just add them, because once you distribute that negative, it really becomes a addition problem. All right, so now we can just add up our like terms. We have 4n to the 2nd plus 2n to the 2nd is 6n to the 2nd power. there's no just n variable in the top equation, so we just have 0 minus 2n, which would just be minus 2n or negative 2n. And then we have positive 5 plus 4, which is positive 9. So right there is our final answer. All right, now multiplying polynomials. We're going to use the box method. The box method just helps make sure we don't miss anything, and we multiply all the pieces that we need. So we have x minus 4, so we're going to put an x here and a minus 4 here. That's the two terms. And then on the top, we're going to have this polynomial or trinomial. We have x squared minus 3x plus 2. So now we just have to multiply all the things on the top with all the things on the side. So the purples and blues need to be multiplied together. So x squared times x to the first power means we have x squared, which is really x times x. And then we're multiplying that by another x. So we add one more x, so we have x to the third. If you remember our exponent laws, this is x to the first times x to the second makes that x to the third power. Negative 3x times x is negative 3x squared because x times x is x squared. We have positive 2 times x is 2x. Now we have to do the purple by the negative 4, so we have x squared times negative 4 is negative 4x squared. Negative 3x times negative 4, negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12 times x. And then 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Now we can't just leave it in the box, we have to simplify it. We do need to add up our like terms. So, like terms, again, are things with the same variable and the same power. So if we look, we only have one x to the third, so we have x to the third. We have our x squareds right there in that diagonal, so we do negative 3x squared plus negative 4x squared, and we get negative 7x squared. Then we have 2x and 12x. Those have the same variable, same power, so we add those together. We have 2x plus 12x is 14x. And then lastly, we just have that negative 8. So we put minus 8 at the end. And there's our answer, our polynomial answer. All right. Another example here, we've got a binomial times a binomial. So we can put 3a and 4 on the left. And then put a minus 2 on the top. So one binomial and the other binomial. We're going to multiply these together. So 1a times 3a, 1 times 3 is 3. A times a is a squared. Negative 2 times 3a, negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 times that a. Then we do 1a times 4, which is 4a. And then negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Now again, we can't just leave it in the box. We do have to combine our like terms. So we have 3a squared. There's no other a squareds. We have two terms with just an a, which is negative 6a and 4a. So we're going to add those together, and we get negative 2a. And then we have that minus 8 at the end. All right, just a couple more problems. We got some special case problems. So here at the top we have 2x plus 1 squared. Well, that just means we're doing 2x plus 1 times itself, which is times 2x plus 1. So we'll put 2x plus 1 on one side and 2x plus 1 on the top. And then we just need to multiply those together. So we got to do 2x times 2x, which is 4x squared, because remember x times x is x squared. And then we have 1 times 2x, which is 2x. Now we have to multiply the top by the bottom. So we got to do 2x times 1, which is 2x. And then 1 times 1, which is 1. Remember, we can't leave it in the box. We have to add our like terms. We've got 4x squared, 2x, and 2x are like terms. So we add those together and we get plus 4x. And then we add that 1 at the end. This problem I'd like you to try on your own and bring it to class completed. On the bottom, we have 2x plus 1 times 2x minus 1. So we've got the same numbers, it's just a different sign in the middle. One has a plus, one has a minus. So we put 2x plus 1 on the left, 2x minus 1 on the top, and then we do our multiplication. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Then we do top times the bottom. 2x plus 1 is 2x. I'm sorry, 2x times positive 1 is 2x. And then negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. Add up your like terms. We have 4x squared. 2x plus negative 2x is 0x, so those go away, and then we just have the minus 1. So I'd also like you to try this other one on your own as practice, and then we'll talk about them in class. Thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel.